Lineup for yesterday by Ogden Ash. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes, not corn, and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium, his record pure gold, his courage pure radium. H is for Hornsby, when pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime, was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for LaHoy, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mac. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth, to tell you the truth. There's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled, I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubel if Carl wore a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, close to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of 2 X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there. These men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Ash, January 1949, Sport Magazine. Lineup for yesterday by Ogden Ash. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes, not corn, and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium, his record pure gold, his courage pure radium. H is for Hornsby. When pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime, was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for LaHoy, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mac. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth, to tell you the truth. There's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled, I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubel if Carl wore a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, close to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of 2 X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there. These men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Nash, January 1949, Sport Magazine. Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Hey Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
What's up, Braves Country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love you.
Lineup for Braves Country by D.M. McGee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king, take that to the bank. B is for Bobby. Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavin. Southpaw winds and kicks. Changing speeds east and west. A gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright. The father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play. Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones. Andrew let her fly, and his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts. A plenty from Strider. The quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez. Javi to B-Mac. Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog. He won 355. Could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro. He got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis. Old Nixon could fly. The catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P's still for Peterson. We were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking. The top pitchers lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy. The big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler. Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren. Skip Carey 2. Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren. Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni. Yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby, and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young, the game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for Zip Boom Bam, Ramalama Ding Dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying. It felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves Country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM McGee, 2024.
Me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Polk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep. down the right field line. It's going back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam-a ding dong, but 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. A banger, and she's gone, baby.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary, and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season, and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Reed. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to 1 strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball.
Down a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Oracle Park in San Francisco, California, where we're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and playing left field for your Atlanta Braves, Jorge Soler. 16 home runs, 51 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .245. Batting second, playing third, Austin Riley. 18 home runs, 55 RBI, batting .263. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. 35 home runs, 90 RBI, batting .301. Batting cleanup and playing first, it's Matt Olson. 20 home runs, 61 RBI, batting .230. Batting fifth and playing short, Orlando Arcia. 11 home runs, 33 RBI, batting .229. And batting sixth and patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves for the first time in 2 months, it's Michael Harris II. Money Mike is batting .250 on the year with 5 home runs, 20 RBI, 8 stolen bases. In right field and batting seventh, it's Ramon Laureano. 5 home runs, 12 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .208. Batting eighth, behind home plate, it's Sean Murphy. 6 home runs, 13 RBI, batting .225. Whit Merrifield is batting ninth and playing second. He has 3 home runs, 12 RBI, 14 stolen bases, batting .202. On the mound for your Atlanta Braves tonight, it's Grant Holmes Day. He does not have a record, but through 38 innings, has a 3.79 ERA and a 1.11 whip. 33 hits allowed, 41 strikeouts, 9 walks, 3 home runs served. He'll be going head-to-head with Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray, coming off of Tommy John surgery just a few starts ago, is 20 innings into his season. He has a 2-1 record and a 3.98 ERA, a 1.18 whip, and through 20 innings has 28 strikeouts, 9 walks, and 5 home runs given up. Backing up Robbie Ray in the bottom of the first inning, it's Tyler Fitzgerald. The shortstop has 13 home runs, 25 RBI, 12 stolen bases, batting .305. Batting second, playing first, Lamont Wade Jr. 4 home runs, 20 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .280. Ramos is in left field, 17 home runs, 56 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .282. Michael Conforto, your designated hitter, has 12 home runs, 50 RBI, a .232 average. Matt Chapman is batting fifth and playing third. 19 home runs, 60 RBI, 12 stolen bases, batting .248. Batting sixth and in right field, Michael Yastrzemski. The Yaz has 9 home runs, 38 RBI, 3 stolen bases, batting .246. Patrick Bailey is behind home plate and batting seventh. 7 homers with a .238 average. He has 38 RBI, 3 stolen bases. Wisely is at second tonight with 3 home runs, batting eighth. He has a .251 average, 23 RBI, 2 stolen bases. Batting ninth and in center field for the San Francisco Giants, it's Grant McCray. McCray is making his major league debut tonight. He began his career with the Giants in 2019. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate tonight, it's Adam Beck. Your first base umpire is Dan Iasono. Second base is manned by C.B. Buckner, and down the third base line, it's Jeremy Riggs. Game time temperatures tonight are expected in the mid-60s, with the wind blowing out straight to center field at 14 miles an hour. Your Atlanta Braves come in 7 games over 500, 2 in front of the Mets for the last wild card spot. 4.5 back of San Diego and Arizona for the top 2 spots in the wild card. 6 behind the Philadelphia Phillies. The San Francisco Giants are 61-61, 3.5 back of the Atlanta Braves. Your Atlanta Braves are plus 110 on the money line. San Fran minus 130. The over-under, 7.5. We'd like to thank all the Country Club members for helping support the channel. Please become a Country Club member today. And if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe to Braves Country Radio. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Giants. Game 3 of a 4-game set. We've got the Grant Holmes emoji kicking in the chat, Kenny Powers style, for you club members. We've also added Money Mike, a new one, as we welcome back our center fielder. Tomorrow's game, remember, is a 3:45 matinee. We'll come on the air about an hour beforehand. It's time to warm up those chop arms, Country Club. See if we can win the series tonight. Braves Country, get your game face on. Good evening, Braves Country.
Get this bus moving.
Stop.
Come back.
Too late.
Roll call. Yeah. Roll call.
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, Braves country. See who we have in the country club members tonight. We get rocking here. The Braves are wearing their home grays once again. Atlanta across the chest, tomahawk underneath in red, outlined in navy. Navy ball caps with the classic white A on the front. Giants are back to their home whites. And yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves country. First pitch on the way from Robbie Ray. The left-hander fires it into Jorge Soler, swung on and fouled back. It's 0-1. The 0-1, he brings it. Fastball up top, 0-2. Robbie Ray is one of the best strikeout pitchers in all of baseball, so get ready for that. The key is, can we get him out early? The 0-2, up top, misses, 1-2. Giants wearing their home whites with Giants across the chest in black, outlined in orange. Same thing with their names and numbers on the back. Black ball cap interlocked with the SF. The 1-2, swung on, chopped foul. We'll do it again. Our pick to click tonight, if you don't see it on the screen, if you listen on radio, it's Ramon Laureano. It's 5-for-8 lifetime versus Robbie Ray. They used to play in the same division in the American League West. The 1-2, swing. That ball's pelted down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone. Just foul. It curled right there at just before the foul pole. Had the distance, just didn't have the straight. The 1-2. Robbie Ray brings it. Swing, pops it back foul. You will literally just see his four seam that he throws about half the time, his slider and his curve. That's it. He does have a change. He does have a sinker, but he has not thrown one this year. So far, it's just those three pitches, but they are very good pitches. The 1-2 in the dirt. Did that get him? It did. That ball hit the top of Jorge Soler's shoe, and he will head on down to first. Michael Harris II is in the lineup tonight. You're wondering where he's at, why he's not leading off. He's batting sixth. They said that's about where he was going to be in the bottom half of the lineup to start off. And the fact that we got a tough lefty on the mound, it makes sense that he's down there. First pitch on the way to Austin Riley is a slider inside. It's 0-1, 81 miles an hour. The 0-1. Ray lifts the orange glove and brings it high and out of the zone. 1-1. Good evening, country club members. I see the GOAT tonight. I see Charlie Pittman. I see Envy. I see AY. JC. The 1-1 from Ray. Kicks and fires. Swing. Pops it back foul. 94-mile-an-hour fastball, 1-2. Gary the Real McCoy is in here tonight. Robert. I think he said he was at a high school football game on a Wednesday night. That seems odd to me, but AY. Brian Andrews, good to see you. The 1-2, inside, got him. Second batter has been hit. Got Austin Riley on the left arm, just above the elbow. He appears to be okay. That was the heat. Man, that could really do some damage. I'm sorry, he did not hit him in the arm. Hit him in the side, below his elbow. Man, that's going to smart. Pushing buttons, country club member, good to see you. Nathaniel Brooks. Everybody's up late tonight to welcome back MH2. The first pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna is a 94-mile-an-hour fastball up top. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Yeah, I thought it hit him in the arm at first. It just missed it. He put his arm down to block it, which is just instinct, but that's not what you want to do. The 0-1. Inside, swing and a miss, 0-2. Ozuna's not had a good series out here, but looking at his numbers, he hasn't had a good career in San Francisco. He just does not hit well in this park. The 0-2, high and out of the zone, 1-2. He's really, really wild. Braves got runners on first and second, nobody out, top of the first. Good to see everybody in the chat. We'll try to get to everyone as we go along. It's Braves nothing, Giants nothing. The 1-2. Up top misses. 2-2. So a 2-2 count. By the way, Robbie Ray already thrown 15 pitches and has hit 2 batters if you're just joining us. The 2-2. Soler inching off second. The pitch. Caught looking. Strike 3. Man, has he been doing that a lot lately. 1 away. Slider right at the knees. I think Ozuna was hoping it was going to miss down, but that looked like a strike. We've had Adam Beck recently. We've had Adam Beck a few times this year. No umpire is perfect, but he tends to establish the zone, and that's the zone that he calls. So you have to be aware of it. But that pitch did hit the zone. This will bring Matt Olson to the plate, lefty, excuse me. Runner at first and second, the pitch. Swing and a miss, knuckle curve, it's 0-1. Robbie Ray's really difficult on lefties. Just nasty, snapping pitches. He'll try to get you to chase that knuckle and that slide. The 0-1. Up top, another fastball that almost gets Olson 1-1. So a 1-1 count. It's good news the Cardinals lost again, we're being told by Carey. The 1-1. Fastball swung on, pops it up. High in the sky. Is he going to stay in play? A lot of room here. Nope, it's going to bounce into just past the camera well on the third base side, 1-2. Matt Olson, 20 home runs, 61 RBI. The 1-2. Kicks and fires. In the dirt, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Pitch on the way. Down and away. 3-2. So a full count. Runners on first and second. 1 down. Ray looks back the runner, brings it. Fastball misses just outside the zone, ball 4. Close pitch. Definitely looked like that it was outside. Now we got the bases loaded. 1 out. Lando Arcia coming to the plate. Main thing you worry about here is the double play with Arcia and his wheels. He loves to roll over pitches. He's more likely to do it on righties, but on lefties, they'll try to look for them to try to hit something down in the zone and get him to roll over the top. And I'm sure that's what Bailey's out there talking to him about. First pitch on the way to Arcia. Right there on the outer cut, knuckle curve, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 1-1. 0-2, excuse me. So an 0-2 count. Lets her rip. Down and in. We'll do it again. The 1-2 to Arcia, batting .229 on the year, brings it. Inside 2-2, four-seam fastball. The 2-2. In the dirt, ball 3-2. So now you got a full count. Bases loaded. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to put Arcia. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide. Bases full of Braves. The payoff pitch. High and out of the zone. Ball 4. And Orlando Arcia coming home with an RBI walk. And the Braves lead it 1-0. That ball was well out of the zone. He's going to get a visit from his pitching coach. The entire infield's going out there to talk to him, because he has really been all over the place. Now remember, Robbie Ray, who signed a huge deal with the San Francisco Giants a couple of years ago, he has only been back from Tommy John surgery. This is his 4th start. In his first 3 starts, the biggest thing with him has been his pitch count, getting him out of innings early on. He tends to settle down as the game goes on. I'm sure a lot of that has to do with rust. Robbie Ray, he'll top out around 95. He used to come in a little higher than that before the Tommy John, and maybe he's still revving up. But before the Tommy John, Robbie Ray's fastball used to sit up around the 97 range when he really wanted to rear back, 97, even 98 at times. First pitch on the way to Michael Harris' second, his first at bat since coming back from the IL 60 days ago, is swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Lefty. Ray steps off the mound for a second, so that'll be one of his moves in this at-bat. The 0-1. Swing! That ball's belted high and deep. Going back on the track. Am I dreaming? Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Michael Harris the second. Money Mike goes grand salami. 423 happy feet. And your Atlanta Braves have taken a 5-0 lead. Holy cow. What an entrance. My word. That was a hanging slider, and he got all of it. That thing was about letter high. You couldn't put it on a tee better. But considering he just come off the IL 2 months ago, did not miss that. First pitch on the way to Laureano. It's a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 kicks and fires. Swing, pops it back foul. 0-2. For those of y'all that might have missed the early news today, Atlanta Braves with Michael Harris. The 0-2. Swing and a miss over the top. Strike 3. 2 away. Atlanta Braves today returned Michael Harris from the IL, which we just saw at that grand slam. Reinstated him from the injured list and optioned Eli White to AAA. To make room, they had to DFA Parker Dunshee from the 40-man roster. They DFA'd him. If he comes back around, they'll probably pick him back up. First pitch on the way to Murphy is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. I bet Harris is on cloud 9 right now. Pitch up top, misses. 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Grant Holmes, our pitcher tonight, waiting in the wings. The 36th of the night to Murph. Up top misses. Ball, they call that a strike? It's a bit out of the zone. Makes it 2-1. That's the first honestly bad call that he's made this inning. The 2-1 pitch. Inside, well inside, 3-1. And, you know, when you give a guy a high strike, a wide strike, whatever, it's usually earned. Robbie Ray has done nothing this inning to earn a wide strike zone. The 3-1 pitch, up top, fastball taken all the way 3-2. I like what Murphy's doing here. Look, he's the catcher, and he's thinking to himself, hey, if nothing else, if I go in here and eat some pitches here, this guy is about to throw 40 pitches in one inning. We'll take it all day long. The payoff pitch, inside, ball 4. So he will throw 40 pitches. That was his 39th, and Mr. Murphy is heading on down to first, and your Atlanta Braves 5-0, and that's it. We have knocked Robbie Ray out the box, baby.
I play real sports.
We'll be back
I'm
in
trying to be the best at exercising. I'm Teddy Powers. I'm the man who has the ball, so that is
I'm mad. I have to go to work. I have to earn a living. I'd rather have a private income and get laid well and often.
Where do men find the audacity? I was in Walmart, okay, and I was shopping, and this man comes up to me, and he said, your dress, it's giving butter churning vibes. But, okay, just because you add vibes at the end of something don't mean it's any less insulting.
Audited? Why? What are you talking about? I'm not scamming the government, if that's what you're saying.
Your license plate says scamming.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Yes.
When your girlfriend asks who you're talking to on the phone, tell her a hooker. Be a man.
What's that?
Ice cream.
From where?
From Paris.
How did you pay for it?
One of my credit cards is still working.
Oh, you're charging things to your credit card. I see. And how are you going to pay for it?
I don't think you understand. I already have it.
I watched Dave Henderson hit his home run, and the Red Sox tack on another run in the top of the 10th.
Look at this bench.
And with the score 5-3, I went back into their clubhouse. They had put the cellophane over each of the lockers in anticipation of the champagne spray. They had built the little podium from which to do the post-game interviews. The cameras and the cable and the microphones were all in place. The World Championship trophy was on a stand covered by a piece of cloth. Frail Mrs. Yawkey had been led in there, and she was standing next to the trophy, along with Commissioner Uberoth. And they were watching with me on a little monitor as the Mets came up to bat in the bottom of the 10th.
Welcome back. You're just joining us. You missed it. Michael Harris II dropped one in the drink out there over the right field wall. And we have run Robbie Ray out of the game. First pitch on the way from Yell. The right-hander, we saw him last night, 6'11", lanky. I mean, he is all legs. The 1-0. Up top. For a strike, 1-1. Runner at first, 2 outs. I believe it is, Mark. I can't recall one shorter. The 1-1. Swing, pops it up, just got underneath it. He'll give it a ride into center field. Would have liked to have seen them take some pitches because they are in a hot mess with that bullpen. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Give me a phrase that somebody born after the year 2000 wouldn't understand.
Is it in the white pages or yellow pages?
You got to put it on channel 3.
Please don't text me. It costs me a dime every time.
Really took me off her top 8. Like, after everything we've been through, she's just gonna remove me from her top 8. Like we weren't ever friends. Like,
get off the internet. I need to call your grandmother.
Smoking or non-smoking?
What time is the movie? I don't know. Let's call and ask.
Oh, no, if it's not working, you've just got to blow on it, right? Yeah, no. Pull it out, turn it upside down, and then just jam it back in there. That'll work.
The Cowboys are headed to the Super Bowl.
Can't really think of a phrase, but I can think of a noise.
Armchair.
Boston reliever Calvin Schiraldi needed just 3 outs to win the game. Veteran first baseman Bill Buckner, hobbled by leg injuries all year, was often replaced in late innings with a younger player. This time, manager John McNamara kept him in the game.
And the Mets are down to their last out.
I remember I was standing there thinking to myself, this is going to be the first ever interview in the wake of a Red Sox championship. There was no radio in 1918. There was no television, obviously. This is the first recorded moment after the Red Sox have won a world championship. So I'm thinking, how should that be summed up? What do you say to Mrs. Yawkey? What do you say to McNamara? What do you say to Boggs and Rice and Seaver and whomever else?
And Roger Clemens hoping for that last out. Lined into left field, base hit for Carter, and the Mets are still alive.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Grant Holmes is going to come on with a 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the first.
I play real sports, not trying to be the best at exercising. I'm Teddy Powers! I'm the man who has the ball, so that is why I am better than everyone in the world.
First pitch on the way to Holmes is swung on and lifted high and deep. I'm not sure if this is going to hold. Soler, he might have batted that one over the wall. He leaped. The ball went over his glove. Have to see another look. He might have just missed. Yeah, I think it just went past his glove. And it's 5-1 Giants. It was a fastball to Fitzgerald. That's the second home run. I think that's the one that, yeah. That's the guy that Yelton said, welcome to the big leagues last night after he'd already hit one home run. Soler, realistically, if we have like a Kelnick out there, they're making the catch. It's a tough catch, but it's a catch that an elite defender is going to make. First pitch on the way to Wade is outside wide for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 swing hit hard on the ground right at Merrifield. Flips it over to first. 1 away. Remember, the wind is blowing out. Last time I checked, 14 miles an hour. So it's got a pretty good gust throughout the night. So we might be in for a high-scoring game. That's why I went with 7-5. Little did I know Atlanta was going to get 5 off the jump. That ball just snuck over. First pitch on the way. Slider outside the zone to Ramos, playing left field tonight. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Only a few of these Giants have seen Grant Holmes. 5 guys in the lineup have won at bat, so very small sample size. The 1-1. Swing, lifts it. High into right field, going back, drifting, making the catch is Laureano 2 away. They're definitely getting some good swings on Holmes. Remember, we can't expect this guy to all of a sudden turn into Sandy Koufax out there. He spent 10 years in the minor leagues, predominantly as a reliever. They put him in the starting rotation down there this year, but the league eventually catches up with guys. First pitch on the way to Conforto is right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. Michael Conforto, the designated hitter tonight, the 0-1, lifted into the center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Soler's got it, flips it into the infield, and there's 1 on and 2 outs. Bringing up Matt Chapman. The other thing you have to look at, too, is the Braves bullpen has been used quite a bit, so who's available tonight's a big question mark. First pitch on the way, swung on, chopped foul down the line. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Brings it. Down and away, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Pitch swung on and dribbled foul down the third base line. Riley will flip it into the stands. Braves 5, Giants 1, bottom of the first. Runner at first with 2 outs. Holmes comes set, the pitch. Curveball gets away from Murphy, and the runner's going to go into scoring position, 2-2. The 2-2. That ball just clunked right before the plate, and Murphy, he was in front of it, just took a funny hop. The 2-2 brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 95 miles an hour right down the pipe, and that'll end the inning. So they get the solo shot to lead us off, but after that, Holmes erases the one runner. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Say what you want, but I'm a blue-collar queen through and through, y'all. Through and through. Serving mashed potatoes one plate at a time. Someone had to step to the front lines and do it. That was me. That was me.
Y'all, my wife asked me how I managed to stay with her for 16 years. I told her she got enough personalities to keep me occupied for another 20.
That's it. I'm elevating us to threat level yellow. It's time.
Yellow?
Yeah, it's time.
What were we before?
Orange, of course.
Orange is much more threatening than yellow.
No, that's an old system that doesn't work anymore. Clearly, yellow is more threatening than orange.
Red.
Good.
Orange, red.
This is yellow.
Red.
This is that more threatening?
Yellow, orange, red. It's backwards going to yellow.
Wow. Color fight.
And now suddenly with 2 out in the 10th inning, the tying runs are aboard, and Ray Knight will be the batter. And that's going to be hit into center field, base hit. Here comes Carter to score, and the tying run is at third in Kevin Mitchell. And John McNamara goes to the mound. Said he wants Bob Stanley to pitch to Mookie Wilson.
And I remember I said to the people in the truck, what happens if they tie the game? And they said, you get the hell out of there as fast as you possibly can.
2 out in the 10th, 5-4 Red Sox, 2-2 to Mookie Wilson. And it's going to go to the backstop. Here comes Mitchell to score the tying run. Oh, brother. So the winning run is at second base with 2 out, 3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
It was surreal. At this point, the cellophane comes off. They start backing the cameras out, and I'm watching over my shoulder as Wilson hits the ground ball through Buckner's legs. You have never seen so much equipment and so many people disappear from one place so fast. Before the Red Sox could come out of the visitors' dugout and down the tunnel and into the room, all traces of the preparation for a championship had been removed.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead at 5-1. The first pitch to Soler, right there for a strike from Yell. It's 0-1, the 0-1. Swing and a miss underneath the hands, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Down and away, 1-2. Braves 5, Giants 1. The 1-2 swung on, grounded over towards short. Fitzgerald has it, fires it over to first. It's a 6-3 put-out, one away. Tell you what, this Tyler Fitzgerald, man, he's an impressive kid. Looks like they have got their shortstop of the future. Speaking of an impressive kid, if you're just joining us, Michael Harris II hit a grand slam, his first at bat coming off the IL. First pitch on the way. Austin Riley, who was hit by a pitch, his first time up, it's 0-1. The 0-1. swung on, grounded up the middle, but right there is Fitzgerald. He flips it over to first. 2 up, 2 down quickly. You don't like to see this, the Braves giving away at bats, Riley not grinding there, because you want to get the pitch count up for all of these relievers. They run Robbie Ray out of the game. You don't want Yell to go out there and throw 3 or 4 innings. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is outside wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0. The Harris home run did land in the drink, Gary. The 1-0 sliced down the right field line. Foul. 1-1. A 1-1 count. The pitch. In the dirt. Knuckle curve. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Chasing that knuckle curve again. 2-2. Ozuna just asked home plate umpire Beck if that ball was in the zone. It wasn't. I don't know what Beck said. It looked like he shook his head yes. The 2-2, Ozuna once again caught looking strike 3. Man, he might need a day off. We'll be back in a flash.
Am I the only person that feels like they're being held hostage driving behind a school bus? Because, like, why, bro? I'm not following you to the school. Why are you holding me hostage back here? I can't even go around you because you got the big blinky stop signs, bro. Why? And, like, I get it. You got to pick up the crotch goblins, but, like, after this group, can you please pull to the side of the road and let the 9,342 cars that have accumulated over the last 3 bus stops pass you? They will literally burn rubber passing you. And seriously. And I know you're thinking, what about the kids? Let them walk. You know what I mean? It'll probably do the kids some good. They'll you burn off some of that excess energy and probably act right in school. Who knows? Either way, it's a win-win. You get no buses on the routes and kids act better.
If one picture is worth 1,000 words, you have seen about 1,000,000 words. But more than that, you have seen an absolutely bizarre finish to Game 6 of the 1986 World Series. The Mets are not only alive, they are well, and they will play the Red Sox in Game 7 tomorrow.
2 days later, the Mets won the championship 8-5.
I wouldn't even watch the 7th game. I knew it was over, and it didn't even matter to me. Even if they'd won, somehow they had lost in '86. And my kids, however, who were then 7 and 8 years old, were big fans, and they were incomprehensible that I wasn't watching the game. So they, of course, were watching it, and I let them call into me only when the Red Sox were winning. Then, of course, by the 6th inning, when the Mets caught up, they were tied and losing, and so I didn't hear any more of it until the end. When they came in to tell me that the Red Sox had lost, I surprisingly started crying. I didn't expect to, because I thought I was preventing myself from caring about it. And these little kids said to me, "Mom, it's all right. They'll win next year." And I remember thinking, oh my God, these kids don't know yet that they haven't won since 1918, and I can't tell them that. And I had this terrible feeling of wisdom that I did not want to impart to the kids.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way. It's right there at the knees for a strike to Mike Yastrzemski, the Yaz. It's 0-1. Righty-lefty matchup. The 0-1 from Holmes. Brings it. Swing and a miss. Curveball in the dirt. 0-2. So there's a pretty interesting thing that was brought up today by one of the beat writers from the Braves. So they're saying that Atlanta is no longer going to go on these 6-7 day rotations as the 0-2. Swung on, chopped over to first. Olsen will step on the bag. 1 away. And if that happens, and they keep the current rotation, what they were bringing out there was the fact that Chris Sale would be in line to miss the Philadelphia series First pitch on the way from Holmes to Bailey is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Because as it lays out right now, Sale will pitch on Saturday this week. Is the 1-0. Right there on the outer edge, 1-1. And then would pitch the first game of the series in Washington and miss the Philly series. The 1-1. Foul down the line 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Braves 5, Giants 1. The 1-2. Swing. Chops it over to first. Step on the bag. 2 away. Olsen with 2 unassisted outs here to start the inning. It'll be interesting to see if they actually go that route. Remember, Chris Sale, though he didn't get the win, he dominated the Phillies in his first outing. And if they kept them on that same kind of rest, he would then also miss the next time they're in Philly in late August. So I figure they're going to manipulate it somehow. First pitch on the way to Wisely is chopped foul down the line. It's 0-1. What he didn't equate into this whole thing, albeit, is that Ronaldo Lopez is expected to come back this weekend. The 0-1. Swing, grounded over towards first. Olsen, all 3 outs. G3 in your scorecard. That was an easy one. We'll be back in a flash. He's got a smile on his face as we hit the dugout, leading 5-1, heading to the third.
The fact that there is a term for domestic housewife implies that there
I'm not feral, okay?
The Minnesota Twins have a lot of fans, but it would be their biggest fan that would propel them to World Series victories in 1987 and 1991. Dick Erickson worked at the Metrodome from 1982 until he retired in 1995. In 2003, he admitted that he adjusted the ventilation system during the late inning of close games in an attempt to get baseballs to carry farther when the Twins were up to the plate. And that's not all. He also claimed the fans behind home plate were turned on when the Twins were on offense. So when did one of these incidents occur? Look no further than the 11th inning of Game 6 of the 1991 World Series. Kirby Puckett is up at the plate with the fans blowing out. Next thing you know, we're headed to Game 7. And don't think that other teams weren't suspicious. One manager went as far as to say there was a breeze blowing out when they were on defense and a breeze blowing in when they were on offense. In the 13 years he was employed by the Twins, they only had a losing record at home 3 times. Even crazier, the Twins were 8-0 at home and 0-6 on the road during their 2 World Series appearances in 1987 and 1991. So do you think the Twins were aided by the air conditioning and the fans during their 2 World Series runs? Or do you think the former superintendent was blowing things out of proportion?
It occurred to me that it was 11 years ago today. My buddy Jim came running out, hollering, "It's a boy, it's a boy." Tears running down his face. That's the last time we went to Thailand.
The moments of great personal failure or humiliation in baseball, Merkel's boner, Snodgrass's muff, Branca's pitch to Bobby Thompson. We all lose in our lives. We are fortunate enough not to have to lose in front of national television audiences. But inevitably, within a few years, there's a rehabilitation, and you feel sorry for him. Bill Buckner right now, people in Boston say, good old Bill, he did his best. They would have killed him that day. Well, it's nice that we're forgiving in that fashion.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Here on a Wednesday night, Michael Harris. Re-debut. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson. Missed outside for a ball, 1-0. Yell backs it up with another pitch outside, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Swing. That ball's lifted high and deep into left field. Will it hold? It will not, baby. He'll rock the Casbah and take the Grand Tour. His 21st home run of the year, 371 happy feet. And your Atlanta Braves put a 6-pack on the board here. We're just starting the 3rd inning. That ball was on the outer edge. He went outside 2 times in a row. Tried to go a 3rd time in a row. And that was it. pitch on the way to Arcia. Swung on. That ball's belted down the left field line. Curling. Making the catch is Ramos. One away. One down. Michael Harris, the second, stands in. He's 1 for 1 with the grand slam. Steven says, I don't understand this. That was the Giants fan that didn't understand the rules last night either, so try to keep up. The 1-0, righty-lefty, the pitch. Drops a bunt down the line. Ball spun back foul. 1-2. The 1-2. Bama and John having some fun in the chat. Pitch on the way. Just missed high and inside. 92 miles an hour. The pitch actually had pretty good action on it. It was a cutter, but it kind of slapped back. The 2-1 right there at the knees. Sinker. 2-2. They put cutter on the screen, but I'm pretty sure that was his sinker. It was just a high sinker because the cutter should have bent in. The 2-2. Swing. That ball's laced down the right field line, but foul into the seats, rattling around like a pinball. Youngsters grabbing it down there in the alleyway just before you go behind the stands. The 2-2. Swing. Chops it off his foot. Appears to be okay. My word, wrap him in bubble wrap. We don't need him going back to the IL. The 2-2. Braves 6, Giants 1. John, I like Merrifield. I'll be honest with you. I think he's a good player. The 2-2 up top misses, 3-2. I know he's well past his prime, but I think he's perfect for a bench role when Ozzie comes back. The payoff pitch. Swing, pops it up. Just got underneath it. That'll be a can of corn in the infield. Chapman and Fitzgerald almost collided, but Fitzy bent off. Chap makes the catch, 2 down. One thing I like about Merrifield, A, he plays solid defense. B, he normally gives you really good at-bats. First pitch on the way. Right there on the outer edge. Laureano, it's 0-1. Braves have been riddled with injuries this year. The 0-1. Swung on, chops it over to third. Going to have to hurry. Chapman's got it. Fires it across the infield. Gets Laureano by about a step, and that'll end the inning. Good hustle by Ramon, but not enough. The Atlanta Braves tack another one on the board. That one went to left field. We'll be back 6-1 Atlanta.
All right, Carter, you got 25.87.
Not for long. I make bad financial decisions.
I saw a post on Facebook just now that said, go laugh in the places that you've cried. So I'm sitting here in the parking lot of a Shell station, and I'm realizing that life may be chewing me up and me out, but I am built like a piece of corn, and I will persevere.
I'm 36 years old, I've got flabby arm and pelican neck, and all my house plants are dead, and no one loves me. But what difference does that make anyway, because everything in my life sucks?
In 1985, Carlton Fisk, still one of the premier catchers in the game, became a free agent. He strangely received only one offer and eventually re-signed with Chicago. In 1987, Andre Dawson, the Montreal Expos star slugger, tried free agency too. No one wanted him. Jack Morris, the winningest pitcher in baseball during the 80s, filed for free agency that same year. He received no offers and was forced to re-sign with the Tigers.
The owners got together in 1985 and decided to form a conspiracy under which they would break the free agent market by agreeing that no team would ever make an offer to a free agent. It was in violation of their contractual commitment. All 26 owners had signed a contract which said, no club shall act in concert with any other club with respect to free agents. And they formed a conspiracy, and it included all 26 owners, general managers, club officials, 3 league presidents, several commissioners. All had to be involved and were involved in violating their contractual commitment. And it worked.
Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Grant Holmes raises the glove, kicks and fires. 94-mile-an-hour fastball to McRae, the rookie. On the outer edge, it's 0-1. Excited to see what this kid's about. 23-year-old left-hander, center fielder. The 0-1, swing and a miss. It's 0-2. I was curious. I know he's known for his pretty good glove. He's a pretty decent prospect in the MLB pipeline. But you wonder, is the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Ball gets away, but Murphy's got it, fires it to first. 2-3 on your scorecard, 1 down. The San Francisco Giants outfield is not easy to play. It's just got weird dimensions and whatnot, and then you're dealing with the wind tonight. And I was curious to see how he played that outfield. You can see the wind whipping Grant Holmes' wig around off of the pitcher's mound. First pitch on the way is a slider down and away. It's 1-0. Fitzgerald, who jacked one over the left field wall, just got it over the wall. Past the glove of Soler. The 1-0. Curveball right there at the knees, 1-1. It was weird when that ball took off. In most parks, that thing's not leaving, but that wind really helped it. The 1-1 drops it down. Tried to drag a bunt there, 1-2. I've been somewhat familiar with Fitzgerald for a few weeks now. I picked him up in one of the fantasy leagues. So I probably know more about him than I normally would, but man, I'll tell you what, this kid can swing a stick. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away. He had a home run last night, and from everything I can tell, really solid defensive player. Good pitch by Holmes. Probably one that you'd want to lay off with 2 strikes, but that curveball had a little more bite than what his curveball normally does, and it just fell off the table. First pitch on the way, 95. Right there at the knees, it's 0-1. I noticed, so the first several games that we've done with Grant Holmes, he's had a 4-pitch repertoire. The 0-1 sliced into left field. That'll be down for a base hit. And another base runner for the Giants here in the bottom of the third. He's been living off the 4-seam, the curve, and the sinker the slider primarily. And then he'd mix in that cutter. Well, his last outing, he started throwing a change. Just enough to keep you honest, but it is to be noted that he did throw a handful of them. Ramos, the batter, righty-righty, first pitch, inside. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Righty-righty. Lets her go. Swing. Grounds it over into the hole, deep into the hole. Arcia fires it over to second. He's not going to get there. He had no chance of getting the runner at first. So he pirouetted and threw a great catch. I mean, a great throw by Arcia to Merrifield. But Wade had just beaten the throw. Merrifield also dropped it, but I don't think he would have been out anyways. Looking at the replay, it short hopped Merrifield, so kind of handcuffed him. So first and second now and 2 outs. Holmes is in trouble. The number 4 hitter, Conforto's up. First pitch on the way, curveball at the knees. 0-1. Michael Conforto 1-for-1 with a single in the first. The 0-1 brings it. Curveball down and in, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Righty, lefty, runners at first and second, 2 outs. The pitch. Swing, chops it foul down the line. Curveball just missed going inside the first base bag, 1-2. Holmes at 36 pitches. If he can get out of this pretty quickly, you like where he's at as far as the pitch count so far. Remember, the Giants are already into their bullpen. The 1-2. Swung on, chopped up the middle. It's going to get up the middle. A backhanded grab by Merrifield will prevent a run, but the bases will now be loaded. It was a slow hit ball, but the Braves had the infield on a pull. If they're playing an honest defense, he probably still can't get the runner. Luckily, Merrifield was able to get to it. Murphy's going to go out there and try to talk to him real quick. But now you got the power-hitting third baseman, Chapman. Chapman 0-for-1. All of this has been done with 2 outs. Chapman 0-for-1. First pitch on the way. Swing, sliced it towards right field. Drifting back, making the catches, Ramon Laureano, and that'll end the inning. Woo! We got out of that one. Bases loaded jam. We head to the top of the 4th, leading by 5.
It's just a long string of very bad luck. And I don't know what kind of carnage I inflicted in a past life to deserve it. I must have been Dracula or a spin instructor.
They make jokes about you drinking, like I make jokes about Ed. Can I?
That's may I.
May, excuse me.
You were dangling a participle, and I just wanted to...
Well, I'll wear a long coat and nobody will notice it.
So you mean to tell me that I'm nobody's TikTok crush? Whatever, I don't care.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play-by-Play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Over a period of 3 years, 1985, 6, and 7, and possibly into 1988, they managed to have a airtight conspiracy.
The union took the case to arbitrators, and after thousands of hours of testimony, Major League Baseball was found guilty of collusion. The conspiracy was broken, and the owners had to pay the players $280 million in lost wages.
Braves Country Radio, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Top of the 4th we go. The right-handed yell is still going to be up there. Braves have only worked 28 pitches on him in these 2 innings. 2+ innings. First pitch on the way to Murphy. He was the first one to see Yell. He came out of the bullpen after knocking out Robbie Ray, 5 earned runs. The 0-1. Knuckle curve down and away. Did he go around? He did not. 1-1. Home plate umpire Adam Beck put a stop to that. He's just shaking his head. He's like, I'll do the asking. The 1-1. Curveball misses 2-1. Brian says the Yankees aren't terribly smart. What did the Yankees do? The 2-1 pitch. Chops it over to third. 5-3 put out. Murphy out by about 4 steps. 1 away. Oh, you're not talking about the New York Yankees. I thought you were talking about the baseball team. I think you're talking about the first pitch to Merrifield is outside wide for a ball. When I've never heard that. People from the north think boiled peanuts taste like beans. The 1-0 outside wide 2-0. What kind of beans? I mean, that's a lot of. There's a lot of different beans. The 2-0 count, righty. Swing. That ball's lifted into left field. Coming in, making the running catch is Ramos, 2 away. Giants with a pretty athletic outfield there tonight. They got 2 center fielders splitting center and left, and then you got Yaz, who's no slouch himself out and right. First pitch on the way to Soler is 94 out wide. It's 1-0. Real quick on the out-of-town scoreboard, Dodgers and Brewers are now tied at 4. I don't know if Walker Buehler settled down or if they pulled him early. The 1-0 down and away 2-0. He was just coming off the IL, and he was having a hell of a time finding the zone. I only got to see, like, first inning and a half as I was getting ready for tonight's broadcast. The 2-0. Swung on, chopped over the mound. Yell's got it. Fires it over to first. Man, he threw a bullet over there. That thing could have handcuffed the first baseman for sure. But it's going to be a 3 up, 3 down. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Hopefully Jorge Soler and company can stop the Giants again.
Can't wait to hear future generations give their children advice like, son, if something sounds too Gucci to be trill, it's probably cap. Dead ass.
I'm resilient. I'm strong. I'm powerful. I have head trauma. We're good.
We're trying to getting a partner again? Oh, no. No, I tried Linda Lovelace, but she said she had it up to here.
I didn't know that.
She didn't want to be with me.
She just got divorced this week. Did you know that?
Oh, I want to wish her or whoever gets her a lot of luck.
Inside smells like up dog.
Inside smells like up dog?
Yeah.
What's up dog?
Not much.
What's...
Most people have not fully understood what that collusive effort meant. That it was an agreement not to improve your team. It was an agreement that no matter how important these free agents are, superstars available to improve your team, to fill in holes on a team that could otherwise be a pennant contender, it was an agreement you will not, under any circumstances, make an offer to a free agent no matter how good he is. And that is really a conspiracy to fix the pennant race. And I think that in terms of scandalous proportions, that collusive conspiracy really was far worse than what is generally conceded to be the worst scandal, the Black Sox scandal, involving 8 players. This involved all 26 owners and all their officials, and not for 1 series, but for 3 consecutive and possibly 4 years.
Thank you for listening, liking, and subscribing to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Grant Holmes 38 pitches in, so pretty good on that front. Set to face the 6, 7, 8 hitters of the San Francisco Giants. First pitch on the way to Yaz is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Righty lefty brings it right there at the knees. 1-1. Wonder if John the Philly, are you also an Eagles fan too? The 1-1 swing, chops it foul down the line. 1-2. Braves 6, Giants 1. We're in the bottom of the 4th. If you're just joining us, Michael Harris II came off the IL and slammed a bases-loaded hammer into the lake, or into the drink out there in McCovey's Cove, I should say. The 1-2 misses outside, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Pitch on the way, swung on, fouled down the line. We'll do it again. Yaz 0 for 1 on the day. The 2-2. Chopped over towards first. Will it stay fair? It will. Olsen will have to toss it to Holmes this time. He was deep into the hole there, almost into right field. Thought he might have an opportunity for another grounder or another G3. He's already had, 3 or 4 already. Brian, because the Phillies won tonight. You're asking why they're 6.5. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Last night, the Phillies had lost. The Braves had gone to 6.5. Then they won. They moved up to 6. Earlier tonight, Philly won. They moved back up to 6.5. If Atlanta wins, it'll be 6. The 0-1, outside, wide, 1-1. And it really just depends on what site you're on, because some of them don't update them until the morning. But if you're on like MLB or one of the major ones, it normally updates. The 1-1 slices foul, out of play, 1-2. 1-2 count. Righty lefty brings it. Swing, just got a piece of that. Bailey, maybe a stitch of the ball to keep it going. Braves tomorrow and Giants. Remember, it's an early game, 3:45 first pitch. And then we head to the City of Angels. The 1-2, blasted high and deep. Down the right field line, but plenty foul. Souvenir up there up top on that catwalk that goes behind Levi Landing right in front of McCovey's Cove. The 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2. The 2-2 count. Jared Kelnick, the 2-2. Swing right back at Holmes. Defensive play on that. He had to just basically stick that glove up to save himself. He knocks it down. He flips it to first, and it's a 1-3 putout, 2 away. Home plate umpire Adam Beck went out there and checked on him, but he says he's okay. I think it just hit him in the glove. It got a piece of his midsection and then bounced off his glove. He says he's okay. He says, man, I'm Kenny Powers, baby. He can't knock me out. He's got a big grin on his face, so he wouldn't shock me if they come out there and take a look at him. But it looks like he's already shooed him off. So Wisely now the batter. First pitch on the way. Up top for a strike, it's 0-1. Kelnick is in for Jorge Soler. That is not a good sign. The 0-1. Up top, 1-1. See if we can check on that to see what's going on with him, but that is not a good sign when the 1-1 pitch swung on, hit hard over towards second. Merry-go-round's got it, flips it to first. That'll end the inning. 1-2-3 inning. We'll find out what's wrong with Jorge Soler when we come back.
I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. As soon as my direct deposit hit, my taste buds be allergic to everything that's in my refrigerator.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
So I wanted to tell y'all this because I thought it was comical, so I was wanting to see if somebody else thought it was funny. My child come home and was like, Mom, you want to see all my Valentines? I was like, yeah, cool, bring them to me. So, of course, they were just normal Valentines, but one of them had actual, like, kids writing on it, and it was a decent little amount of writing. So I read it, and I was like, did this little girl leave this note for anybody else, or was it just for you? He was like, no, I was the only one that got that note. It says, Happy Valentine's Day to the person who has seen the best and the worst of me and didn't run away screaming. So, mind you, my child is about to turn 10. So these are fourth graders. What does she mean by that? He said, I don't know, Mama. She just sits there and stares at me all day. I was like, well, have you told her to stop? He was like, many of times.
In the 1988 World Series, the Los Angeles Dodgers were the decided underdogs against a resurgent Oakland Athletics. The Dodgers' best hitter, Kirk Gibson, was injured and not expected to play. In the first game, in the bottom of the ninth, with 2 outs and 1 man on, and Oakland leading 4-3, their ace reliever Dennis Eckersley on the mound, Dodger manager Tommy Lasorda called to the clubhouse to see if Gibson could possibly pinch hit.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. There's been no update yet. We're going to keep an eye on it. What happened with Jorge Soler? First pitch on the way to Austin Riley is up top for a ball inside. It's 1-0. I mean, we just can't have nice things. The 1-0. Misses high. 2-0. 2-0 count. He was the last to bat in the previous inning, and I don't know, maybe he did something. They were focused on it. The 2-0 pitch swung on, hammered down the third base line. We'll do it again. Nothing's been reported so far. Usually by now there's a reasoning behind it, given by either one of the writers or the Braves themselves, but nothing has been released. The 2-1 count. Miller, the left-hander, brings it. Swing, that ball's belted high. That ball is hit deep. Going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Rock 'em, sock 'em, smoke 'em if you got 'em. It's 7-1 Atlanta. 371 happy feet down the left field line. Your Atlanta Braves have taken a 6-run lead. He got all of that one. First pitch to Marcell Ozuna. Let's see if we can get him off the schneid. Outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. It's not just that Marcel's been scuffling. I mean, he's been caught with a bat hanging on his shoulders a few times this past week with 2 strikes. The 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. Usually when that happens with these batters, they're double guessing themselves. Brewers, by the way, lead the Dodgers 5-4 in the 7th. The 1-1. Swing and a miss over the top, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Pitch high and inside, 2-2. You got a couple of the beat writers for the Braves updating you about the home run, but none of them said a thing about Soler. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Blew it right by him, strike 3. He is definitely scuffling. Just seems to be a tick off. Good thing about Marcel, past year and a half, when he gets in these little funks, they don't tend to last long. Hopefully that's still the case. Matt Olson comes to the plate. First pitch. Right down the heart with a slider. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Brings it. Swung on. Chopped foul. 0-2. The left-hander in the game now for the San Francisco Giants, Eric Miller, 26-year-old, drafted by the Phillies in 2019 out of Stanford, but just debuted in the major leagues this year with San Fran. The 0-2, swung on, sliced foul down the line. Do it again. Matt Olson walked his first time up and then slammed one into the left field seats his second time up. The 0-2, sliding over towards third, coming over, grabbing it, making the throw is Chapman. Over to first, 5-3 put out. 2 away. They were playing Olson to pull, but not as far over as some other teams do. And I think Olson intentionally was trying to slap it down the third base line, but he just got a little too much of the infield. First pitch on the way to Arcia is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. Arcia drove in a run his first time up with a bases loaded walk. That was followed up by the grand slam by Harris, the 0-1. Bender on the outside, 0-2. No 2 count. They've got cameras peering into the dugout of the Atlanta Braves, both broadcast, but nothing has been reported yet. The 0-2, swung on, rolled up the first base line. That's going to be just got Arcia. What a play by Patrick Bailey to end the inning. He had to throw it above his shoulder because of the way it was shaped, and the catch made by Wade just got him. We'll be back in a flash. Braves lead it by 6.
Why does it take longer to say www than it does to say World Wide Web? I object, Your Honor. Sorry, I just want to rephrase my question. Why does it take longer to say the abbreviated www than it does to say the not abbreviated World Wide Web? I object again, Your Honor, and I move to strike. Listen, aren't acronyms supposed to shorten our phrases, not make them 3 times the syllables? What is going on with W? And why is it the only letter in our alphabet with a word in it?
How'd you end up at the kids' table?
We couldn't find the leaf to expand the dining room table.
Is it true you had a cooked turkey delivered?
Look, cooking a turkey is a point of pride for me, but once I realized that I've never been proud of a turkey I've made, I figured it's time for a lineup change.
And how was the turkey?
Dry.
You had multiple uniform changes throughout dinner.
Spilled wine on myself, celebrating a touchdown.
You were watching football during dinner?
I'm sitting at the kids' table.
What'd you do with your extra 6 hours?
I did make my own cranberry sauce, which didn't get touched.
There are some reports about heavy heartburn.
Yeah, I don't think it's very ideal to be eating such a heavy meal sitting in a position where your knees are next to your ears.
I'm in the corner of the Dodger dugout anticipating that I'll be doing a losing interview. I'm standing just in front of the runway, and I can see Ben Hines, the Dodger batting coach, being dispatched by Lasorda into the clubhouse to check on Gibson. Then I can hear Gibson taking practice swings with a ball being placed by a bat boy on the tee and Gibson hitting into a net, and I can hear the grunts of pain coming from Gibson with every swing. Thwack! Thwack! And I'm thinking to myself, gee, if this guy is going to drag himself out here and hit, we've really got the stuff of legend. And Hines comes walking back, and like in a B movie, he passes Lasorda and says he thinks he's got one good swing in him. I'm thinking, who's writing this script?
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch, swing and a miss over the top. It's 0-1. Justin Toscano of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution says that it is hamstring tightness that they pulled Jorge Soler for as the 0-1. In the dirt, he went around 0-2. They'll have him bubble wrapped till December. So Jorge Soler out of the game. Kelnick is in left. We'd already just talked about that. Just didn't know what the reasoning was. The 0-2. Swing. Chops it over to first. Olson's got it. They'll flip it to Holmes. It's going to be a 1-3 put-up. Man, Matt Olson has been busy tonight. If Harris hadn't hit that grand slam, he'd be in the line for the player of the game. Not only is he a home run, he has been a part of at least 8 of their outs. And I'm not talking about when he's getting the ball thrown to him. I'm talking about the ball being hit to him. Grant Holmes comes set. Tyler Fitzgerald 1 for 2. The only run on the board for San Francisco. First pitch, down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. The Giants did have a golden opportunity back in the third with the bases loaded. The 1-0 hit hard in the hole. Arcias got it. He drops it. No chance to get Fitzgerald. That'll be an infield single, I would think. I can't imagine that's going to be an error. Fitzgerald's got pretty good speed. And that ball was hit deep into the hole. And though if anybody on the planet could have got him, it was Arcia. He probably doesn't get him. 1 on, 1 out. We'll see how they score it. First pitch on the way. Down and into Wade. It's 1-0. 1-0. They did give Fitzgerald the hit, by the way. 1-0. Righty, lefty, the pitch. Right there at the knees. Pops out of the glove of Murphy, but not very far. Runner will stay put, 1-1. On deck is Ramos. The 1-1. Holmes turns around and flips it over to first to keep Fitzgerald close by. Man, that's the big difference between today's game and yesterday's game. You have a 6-run lead. You wouldn't even have to think about looking over there and throwing. 2-1 pitch is high and out of the zone. Braves 7, Giants 1. Slider down and in. Did he go around? He said he didn't. Ball 3-3 and 1. So now we got a mess. Runner at first. Only 1 out. Heart of the order looming on deck. Wade on a 3-1 count. The pitch. Right there for a strike on the outer edge, 3-2. Righty-lefty matchup. Fitzgerald leaning off of first. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the slider. 2 away. Grant Holmes, his 4th strikeout of the night. Kind of a low number for Holmes, to be honest. 2 away. If you're just joining us, Robbie Ray made it 2/3 of an inning, gave up 5 runs, 3 walks, just 2 strikeouts. The first pitch on the way, swung on, popped up high in the sky. Corralling underneath it is Michael the Hawk Harris with his glasses and all. We'll head to the 6th, leading by 6.
Some people need to learn how to go camping out in the mountains and not the left lane.
What are you doing there?
I'm eating.
I can see that. You're doing it wrong.
What are you talking about?
You almost finished your peas there. And you ain't even started that other, what do you call it?
Zucchini?
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I was going to eat the zucchini after I finished the peas.
Then when are you going to get to the turkey?
After the zucchini.
That's dumb. You're supposed to eat a little of the peas, then a little bit of the cuisine.
Zucchini.
Whatever. And you take a little of the turkey there. So you get a good mixture there. That's what you call a balanced meal.
The feeling not just of exhilaration, but of utter surprise that engulfed that dugout when he made contact, the looks players exchanged, and then the spontaneous outpouring of emotion and this release of tension as he made his way around the bases was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in baseball.
And look who's coming up. 4-3 A's, 2 out, 9th inning. You talk about a roll of the dice. This is it. You know, complaining about the fact that with the left knee bothering him, he can't push off. Well, now he can't push off and he can't land. So the Dodgers trying to catch lightning right now.
And he's staying on an outside corner. He's not going to give him a ball to pull. With Davis, he just missed, but here's 2 quick strikes, both fastballs that kind of tail away at the outside part. Hasse is not even flirted with the inside part of that plate.
Sachs waiting on deck, but the game right now is at the plate. High fly ball into right field. She is gone!
It was Gibson's only at-bat in the series, but the inspired Dodgers went on to beat the stunned A's in 5 games.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Michael Harris II stands in. First pitch on the way. Right there for a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Harris, 1 for 2 on the night. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Slider over the top. It's 0-2. Harris 1 for 2 with a grand slam. The 0-2. Down and away. 1-2. So hamstring tightness could be a number of things. The 1-2. Down and away. 2-2. That's what Jorge Soler was pulled out of the game for a couple innings ago, after an at-bat where he's running down to first. The 2-2. Slice foul down the line. We'll do it again. If they have to put him on the IL, he would miss a minimum of 10 days, which means he would miss the Philadelphia series. And that's just on brand right now for the Braves in 2024. The 2-2. Down and in, 3-2. If they think it's not an IL stint, they may just give him the weekend off and see if he's ready to roll on Tuesday. But we know how this goes with Atlanta. They'll play around with their food, and the next thing you know is the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Slider over the edge, 1 away. They'll play with their food, and the next thing you know, he's missed 9 games or so. Then you have to put him on the IL, and you can only backdate a guy on the IL 3 days. So you can't, that was something new on the collective bargaining agreement. You can't say, well, he hasn't played since Monday and it's Sunday, so we're going to put him on the IL and backtrack it all the way to Monday. You would only be able to go back to Friday. The 1-0 to Laureano, who's 0 for 2. Pitch, inside, 1-0. Or 2-0, excuse me. The 2-0. Down and away, 3-0. It could just be precautionary too. They could be saying, hey, it was at the time it was 6-1. Probably need to put someone in for you for defense. The 3-0. Inside ball 4. He'll head on down to first. And that's a walk by Ramon Laureano. The Atlanta Braves, 1 on, 1 out here in the 6th. You know, the other random option you do have, sometimes with the hamstrings, if you give it a few days, they can go back out there, but you don't want to play in the field. You could, in theory, though he hasn't all year, put Ozuna in left field. That's going to run the left-hander out of the game. I know that's not ideal, but if you want both bats in for the Philly series, that's the other wild option. We'll be back in a flash. Braves lead at 7-1.
To anybody that's been mean to me, if you're having a hard time in life, good.
I learned a lesson.
Never half-ass two things. Whole-ass one thing.
I'm not too sure why I'm about to tell the internet this, but I'm hoping I can save other people from doing the same exact thing. I was having a sugar attack, so I thought, well, let me go on down there to the Piggly Wiggly, and I did, right? Well, I wanted some ice cream. Okay, peanut butter flavor. See, look at it. It's got a little pretzel sticking up out the thing. It smells just like peanut butter. And I get home because I'm ready for the ice cream, right? I get it out the box. I pop the top off of it, and I ate the whole thing because it was delicious. I thought this just, for children, little children. Human little children. No, not at all, actually. I got scammed because right here in little bitty letters it says dog treat. And I ate the whole thing.
In 1869, Harry Wright, manager and outfielder for the Cincinnati Red Stockings, made 7 times the average working man's wage. In 1976, 107 years later, a ball player still made just 8 times a working man's salary. By 1994, the average major league salary would be nearly 50 times that of ordinary Americans.
The big difference now that players get so much is that it has distanced them from us. It was a blue-collar sport, and people in the stands could look at these people playing ball and think of them as workers because they were getting paid workers' salaries. And this perpetuated the illusion that with a little luck that could be me out there. The sense of we between fans and players was very strong in those days, and players stayed on a lot longer with the team, so they were familiars, like someone who worked in the same office with you almost. And all that is gone. It's quite different now.
First pitch on the way is swung on, popped up in the air. High in the sky into left field, coming in, making the catch. Ramos. 2 away. Runner at first, 2 outs. The new pitcher. Our commercial button wouldn't turn off. We kept pounding, hitting it. That's what was going on. First pitch on the way, swung on. That ball is laced into right field through the San Francisco Giants had a shift on, and the ice cream man went merry-go-round, chopped it through the infield on the right side. Huge hole over there. Good, smart hitting by Merrifield. We got runners on first and second, 2 outs. Kid Kelnick will be the batter, in for Jorge Soler. First pitch, up top for a strike. It's 0-1. The new pitcher we saw last night for a couple of innings, Landon Ropp from Rocky Mountain, North Carolina, the right-hander. The 0-1 swung on, hammered down the right field line, but foul, 0-2. Braves 7, Giants 1. Went for the Soler thing, you'd be screaming from the mountaintops, pitch me, am I dreaming? I mean, the Braves getting out to an early lead is few and far between this year. The 0-2 pitch, that ball's going to get hammered down into the right field corner. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. 1 run will score, it's 8-1. 2 runs will score, it's 9-1 as merry-go-round comes in under the tag, and Kid Kelnick on a head-first slide into third base does a swim move around the tag, and it's 9-1, your Atlanta Braves. The Giants are looking to see if they may want to challenge that, but it looked like he beat it. Brilliant swim move by Kid Kelnick on the backside of that bag. One hopped up against the screen and kind of rattled around on the wall up there where back a few years ago, that ball would have hopped into the seats, but there's a screen there now because they want to prevent fans from getting hit by balls for staring at their WhatsApp or Instagram during the game. The 0-1, swing and a miss over the top, 0-2. There are a lot of places that, in fact, as they show that screen, there's a couple of dopes on their phone right now not looking at the game. The 0-2 outside wide 1-2. Yeah, it kills you. Like, man, you go all the way out to the ballpark. Your phone should be in your pocket. Maybe you want to take a couple of pictures, but that's it. If you don't go to the ballpark very often, you take a couple of pictures and you put it away. The 1-2, swing, pops it up, high, just past the infield dirt, making the catch is Wisely, and that'll end the inning. But not for your Atlanta Braves have taken a 9-1 lead. Kid Kelnick comes through in the clutch.
No meat, just eggs.
Yeah, with sliced apple.
How do you like your eggs?
Hatched. What?
You want them scrambled?
Scrambled, yeah.
Did
he say hatched? No.
And the sky is the limit for baseball salaries. The highest paid player of the week is now Roger Clemens of Boston. 5 years, $7.5 million.
Dwight Gooden has something to celebrate as well after receiving plenty of money from the New York Mets. In fact, the right-hander became the highest-paid player in the big leagues after he signed a 3-year, $6.7 million contract.
Brian Sandberg is calling Chicago the city with big pockets. The Cubs' great second baseman has signed the biggest contract ever in baseball. He could make about $7 million a year.
What in the knuckles is this?
She's my girlfriend, you intolerant.
Whoa! Pump the hate brakes, Fox and Friends. I'm just surprised anyone would date you.
Kids today, they go, how much is your baseball card worth? And I'm going, a plug nickel, son, a plug nickel. I'm saying be your own person. Do not collect baseball cards. It will be the ruination of you. Maybe you'll learn economics a little bit, or you'll learn what value is, but you're being an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur takes something of no value and makes money on it. And I do not believe in that in the kids. I teach them right off the bat. Learn the game. Do not look at Youppi. Do not look at the chicken. Do not look at that. Look at the ground ball. Field it cleanly with both hands. Be as smooth as silk. You know, make the nice throw to second. Have the nice breaking curveball. Subtract on the changeup. See the ball and hit it. Don't associate with the other things of the game. It will eventually bring you down, eat you up, and spit you out.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way. It's a curveball. Right there for a strike from Holmes to Conforto. It's 0-1. The 0-1. In the dirt, 1-1. One pitch, swung on, hit high deep down the line, 1-2. Braves 9, Giants 1, bottom 6, still a long way to go. The pitch in the dirt, 2-2. I think the game plan would be to get Holmes through 6. If he can get through that. He hasn't gone deeper than that. He's only at 70 pitches. And though they'd love to save the bullpen, I can't imagine they're going to let him just. Remember, it's a 2-2 pitch misses outside, 3-2. Raylo, soon to come off the IL. The payoff pitch, down and in, ball 4. So Holmes, that's not what you want to start off the bottom of the 6th. Gives up a leadoff walk. He's got to tighten it up and get his game face back on. If you're just joining us, the scoring has gone like this. First pitch on the way, swung on, lifted high by Chapman into deep right field. Camping underneath it is Laureano. One away. He started to dart back towards the warning track. The wind started to die down a little bit out there and never really made it that far. Arcia walked in Soler for an RBI with the bases loaded to start the scoring. First pitch on the way to Yaz is outside wide. It's 1-0. Then Michael Harris II hit a grand slam into McGovey's Cove to make it 5-0 Braves. 1-0 right there on the outer edge. 1-1. Yaz 0 for 2 on the day. Tyler Fitzgerald hit one over the left field wall to make it 5-1 in the bottom of the first. Then Olsen made it 6-1 in the third with the solo shot over the left field wall. 1-1 outside wide, 2-1. Austin Riley then hit a home run in the fifth. I think someone was asking about that if he hit a home run. To left field. The 2-1, swing and a miss, 2-2. 370 feet later, it was 7-1, and then Kid Kelnick, who has come in for Jorge Soler because of hamstring tightness, doubled down the right field line, and Merrifield and Laureano scored. 9-1's where we stand. The 2-2, slider just misses inside, 3-2. Starting to think Braves fans are only happy when we're losing because the chat was kind of quiet a few minutes ago, but it's starting to pick up again. Runner on first, 1 out, the payoff pitch. Swing, hammered over to first, and here comes Olsen. He flips it to Arcia. Arcia will return the favor, and we're going to end the inning on a double play. In your scorecard, it's 3-6-3. We head to the 7th.
I'm finna tell y'all why y'all should never delete. Let me tell you why. One day I posted it and it had like 10 views in an hour. So I was kind of mad about that, but I went to sleep and I woke back up and guess how many views I had? 11. That could be you, okay?
Would you like to take us fishing and tell us life lessons and stories about your childhood?
I got a better idea. Why don't you boys go dig a hole and I'll get another beer.
Someone didn't love you enough when you were little, did they?
Good call.
Tragic.
Little investment advice. Bip Roberts, 1986 rookie card, worth about $275. 20 years from now, who knows? 1,000, 2,000, might even go.
Bip, man, you were looking at Robin Roberts. Says here your card's worth 4 cents.
Yo, T, 4 cents if it's in excellent condition, but 10 cents if it's totally mint.
Dad, Mom says I have to remind you to behave yourself through the holidays.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Mom says you know how people are and you should just keep quiet and just be nice.
How come people don't remember how I am? How come they can't learn to shut the up and be nice in my house? Let's try that.
We have these unreasonable expectations of all baseball heroes. We want them to be good at life as well as good at baseball. If you think about it, it's unfair. It's hard enough to expect them to play baseball well. I'm convinced there is the same division in baseball that there is in life itself, of true heroes, of people of strong principle, of ordinary everyday people, of rogues, of weaklings. Pete Rose turned out to be extremely fallible.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna is a swing and a miss strike. It's on 1. The 0-1, Landon Ropp is outside, first strike, 0-2. He has been calling a tight zone, but now it's opened up. I'm sure it's got to do with the fact that it's 9-1, but I guarantee that's not making Ozuna happy. The 0-2. Landon Ropp brings it. Way outside wide curveball. 1-2. The 1-2. Another curveball tried to get him to chase. Same pitch, same spot, same result. Outside 2-2. The 2-2. Another pitch out there. This time it was a slider. He is just living out there. I mean, if you're Ozuna, you got to hang out over the plate and just assume, and if he busts you inside, he busts you inside. The payoff pitch. Swing. That ball's hit over towards third. Chapman had a hard time getting a hold of it. Finally flips it over to first. One away. They were actually setting up outside. They were going with the gas, but he missed his spot and it jammed Ozuna. That's exactly what Ozuna was doing. He was about to lean out over there, and the pitch caught him by surprise, but they were gunning for the outside. First one to Olsen is well outside wide, 95 miles an hour. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Slider on the outer edge. 2-1. Two-one count. Lets her go. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Came in with the gas. Landon Ropwood, you've seen him most of all. He kind of pitches backwards. He likes to start off with the benders and then finish you off with the gas. The 2-2. Swing. Hammers it down the first base side. Just past the dugout. We'll do it again, 2-2. Same two teams at it, back at it tomorrow. Your Atlanta Braves hoping to get a much better start out of Max Fried this time. He's been going head-to-head with Logan Webb. Matt Olson must have broken his bat because he had to go saw one off. The 2-2. High and inside sinker. 3-2. There he goes. He pitching backwards again. Trying to lull you to sleep and then bring the heat, but that one missed. The payoff pitch. Down and away. Did he go around? They said he did. Strike 3. Pitch was well out of the zone. Landon Ropp in this inning has been effectively wild. 2 down. Lando Arcia comes to the plate. First pitch. Sinker right down the pipe. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing. That ball's laced into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And Orlando will keep it going. 1 on. 2 outs. Money Mike coming to the plate. First pitch on the way to Michael Harris II is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Harris 1 for 3 with the grand slam. Looks like he's got some new nifty glasses that's look like they're kind of neon green and purple around the rims. The 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. These are not the, normally Michael has shades on with the sun going down. That's not the case. These just look more like goggles. The 1-1. Swing. Chops it foul. 1-2. You haven't noticed it already, the Money Mike emoji that we made for Michael Harris come back tonight. It's Cat Williams with the Money Mike emoji, but we put Michael Harris glasses and a Braves hat on him. The 1-2. High and out of the zone, 2-2. So if you're wondering why Money Mike's emoji has long hair, it's from the Cat Williams Money Mike, the movie where he played Money Mike. The 2-2 to the left-hander. Down and in, ball 3, 3-2. So a full count, which means Arcia will be on the run. Braves 9. Giants 1. The payoff pitch. 94 miles an hour. They're going to call that inside strike. I don't know about that. If that's a strike, then a few of the ones on the outside couldn't have been. We'll be back in a flash. The Braves lead it by 8.
One thing about me is that I will buy that coffee. I will. Do I need it? First off, watch your tone. Second off, not at all. But I don't regret it. I don't regret it, babe. I don't. Pockets empty, hearts full. Cheers to that, bucko.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Is It Allergies? Is it COVID? Is it my period? Or is this just how my body feels in my 30s?
One thing about me is that I will be having a Diet Coke. I will be having a Diet Coke. I will be enjoying this beverage. And I make my own money, so I spend it how I like, and I spend it on Diet Coke sometimes, because that's what I want to do. And nothing grinds my gears more than whenever I'm sipping on my Diet Coke, and somebody's like, you know, that's just as bad for you as the regular thing. Oh my God. Oh my God, I did not know that I asked. I was not aware that I asked.
And to throw out the ceremonial first pitch, the roar for the Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio. As Joe, Yankees of today still in awe of the Clipper as a player and as a man.
Pete Rose had played in 3,562 games, come to bat 14,035 times, and made 4,256 hits, more than any other man in all 3 categories. He had been a hero to 2 generations of baseball fans, Cincinnati's favorite citizen, so popular that a member of the city council once tried to get him declared a civic landmark to prevent his ever playing anywhere else. He seemed to be a throwback to some mythical earlier age of hit-and-run, hard-scrabble baseball when players played for the pure joy of it.
Tomorrow will be a showdown between Max Fried and Logan Webb. Last time we saw Logan Webb, he pitched a pretty good game against us. He always seems to pitch a pretty good game against the Atlanta Braves. First pitch on the way from Grant Holmes to Bailey is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. 92 down and away, 2-0. So Atlanta's hoping to get the bullpen right tonight, and hopefully Grant Holmes can give him at least one more inning. He's only at 81 pitches, but still they also count the up-downs a lot of folks don't realize. The 2-0. Down the line, 2-1. That's what they call the innings, because you're up and down because of all the warm-up pitches you have to do in between innings. They count those as well, and so that's become part of the equation. The 2-1 pitch slapped into center field. Harris is going to cut it off after a good hustling play, but a long rainbow of a throw into second will not beat the runner, and it's a leadoff double for the Giants. Good piece of hitting there by Bailey, though Harris caught it before it got to the wall, cut it off before it got to the wall. His momentum was taking him to the wall, and Bailey was able to turn it into 2. This big canyon that is San Francisco's ballpark. First pitch on the way is swung on and roasted to the right side. It's going to be a single, an RBI single, and the Giants have scored the second run of the game. It's 9-2. Not something that you start getting worried about yet, but you don't want to get complacent unless maybe you had the over-under or something. Then you're really concerned about it. That'll bring up the rookie McCray, number 9 hitter. Still nobody out. Righty-lefty. 85th pitch is a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Luke Jackson warming up in the bullpen. I can hear everybody clapping throughout Braves country. The 0-2 fouled back. 0-1 fouled back. It's 0-2. Luke Jackson has not been in since he melted down with a huge lead. And once again, see, here's the thing. They've shown with Luke Jackson in high leverage situations as the 0-1 swung on, pops it up high and deep into left center field. Going back, making the catch is Kelnick just before the warning track went away. But what they were insinuating on his statistics on Monday morning after the meltdown in Colorado is that Luke Jackson does not pitch particularly well in what you consider really low leverage situations, meaning when he came in the other day, it was 8-2. Now it's 9-2. This is not the ideal situation to bring in Luke Jackson. First pitch down and in, it's 1-0. He doesn't pitch great in high leverage situations. More of what they were saying is that he's a guy you bring in when you're up by 3 or 4, or you're in the 6th inning, that kind of thing. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. I think that's, honestly, I feel like that's the way it's always been with Jackson. Some pitchers just, they don't get dialed up unless the game is on the line. The 1-1 swung on, chopped over to third, but just rolls foul, 1-2. But the one thing we can't forget is that Luke Jackson was a major part of why the Braves won that 2021 World Series. He was a part of that night shift, the bullpen, that just pitched lights out. He did give up the big home run to Bellinger for the 1-2. Caught, looking strike 3. 4-seam up top, 2 away. Man, he froze him like a banana on the outer edge. 95 just dotted the top of the zone. Top shelf strike and 2 down. You would think this is absolutely Holmes' last inning. Wade 1 for 3. First pitch, swing. Strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Glad we only got a few more of these late nights. We got Friday night and Saturday night. That's it as far as the West Coast for 2024. The 0-1, swing and a miss out wide, 0-2. If we do happen to play in the playoffs, it shouldn't be as late as these games are. Even if we have to go out west, they normally start them a little earlier. The 0-2 brings it. Hammered down the first baseline, just foul. My sleep schedule is all jacked up. It's been worse this year than other years because they've been out west more often because we're playing everybody in baseball now. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the inning. Good job of Grant Holmes getting out of that. That's probably the end of him. So we'll play this as he walks off the field.
I play real sports, not trying to be the best at exercising. I'm Teddy Powers! I'm the man who has the ball, so that is why I am better than everyone in the world.
To go through your man's phone, don't go checking his text messages. Go to his bank app and send your ass some money. Stop being stupid.
I am starving. I haven't had lunch since yesterday.
Dogs can't operate MRI machines, but cats can.
Dad, I want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
You don't even know what I'm saying thank you for yet.
So,
you can't say you're welcome when you don't know what I'm thankful for.
there's a million reasons in your life you should be thankful. I'm probably responsible for half of them. And you never say you're thankful for anything unless your mother forces you to. So if you're going to give me this one, I'll take it blind.
I was going to say thank you for bringing home dinner for me last night.
I didn't.
What?
I brought your mother home dinner. She gave you some of hers.
Why didn't you buy me dinner too?
Because you said you had an FFA event from 4:30 to 7:30 and you were going to eat there. I'm not going to buy you dinner and leave it on the counter till 8 o'clock at night, princess, just in case you're hungry. If you're hungry when you get home, nuke something.
What?
Microwave it. Then you could be thankful you have a microwave. And electricity. And a house.
I feel gross, like I'm getting older, I'm gaining weight.
Like, my neck's getting all disgusting. Like, this is where I could really use a compliment.
Your eyesight's good. But Pete Rose had a secret addiction, gambling. Some years he lost as much as $500,000. And some witnesses testified that he bet on baseball games in which his own team played. Rose denied it. "I'd be willing to bet you," he said, "if I was a betting man, that I have not bet on baseball."
I said yesterday on another network, I'm happy to look into the camera now and say I never bet on baseball, and I never bet on Cincinnati Red baseball.
His fans refused to believe the charges.
First pitch on the way to Ramon Laureano. Another pitcher from the Giants bullpen, Taylor Rogers, the left-hander. Chop foul to 0-1, the 0-1. Swing lifted high into right field, going into the corner. Will it stay fair? It will. It'll bounce off the wall, and Ramon Laureano had to slam on the brakes and retreat because it was perfectly played by Yaz. Laureano was kind of stuck between no man's land. He was taking the corner and then going, "Whoa, baby, better not do that." It hit the base of the wall and then shot to the right fielder, Yaz, with the quickness. First pitch on the way to Murphy is inside for a strike. It's 0-1. Lefty righty. Yeah, Grant Holmes is yet to record a win or a loss. Of course, he started the year in the bullpen, usually with the big lead or a big deficit when he would come in. The 0-1 misses outside, 1-1. So a 1-1 count from Rogers, brings it, swing, fouls it down the line. Rogers, the brother of Tyler Rogers, the right-hander who was in this bullpen. We saw him earlier in the series. He is the right-hander that has that submarine throw. The 1-2. Wham! Hammered into the night. Good night, Irene. That's gone. A two-run shot. 406 happy feet. Ding dong, that pitch is dead, baby. Sean Murphy plowed it. 92-mile-an-hour four-seamer into the left field seats, and the Atlanta Braves have taken an 11-2 lead. First pitch on the way to Merrifield. The sweeper down and in. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Merrifield, who's 1 for 3, scored a run on that double that was roasted into the corner by Kelnick. Didn't have time to get into it at the time because of the throw at third by Kelnick, the throw to third to try to get Kelnick. It was a swim move with such a great slide. They were thinking about whether or not they would challenge it. But that was a nifty slide by Merrifield to score. He slid and smacked the plate with his hand, almost Trey Turner-like. The 1-0. High and out of the zone, 2-0. I was thinking of that slide that they showed. At the time, he was playing for the Dodgers, but Trey Turner, he's got just one of the smoothest slides there is at home plate, the 2-0. Sweeper right there at the knees, 2-1. Braves 11, Giants 2, top of the 8th. Atlanta. The 2-1 swung on, bang foul down the third base line. Atlanta trying to win their third game in a row, and this is right after just a collapsing loss Sunday to the Giants after leading 8-2 in Colorado, where the bullpen just could not hold the lead. The 2-2. Way high out of the zone, 3-2. Standing on deck is Kelnick. Jorge Soler out of the game. Hamstring injury. The 3-2. Just got a piece of that to stay alive. Bender inside. Full count to Merrifield. The payoff pitch. Rogers taking a second to step off after the Merrifield timeout. The payoff pitch. Swing. Pops it back foul. Do it again. It's funny, I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but when Ramon Laureano runs the bases, he takes these long strides, but they're kind of slow. The 3-2. Swing. That ball's hit into left field. That's down for a base hit. I know a few of y'all picked him to click. Well, that click clacked. Second hit of the night for Merrifield. On top of that, he got himself a run scored. The Braves lead 11-2. Runner on first. First pitch to Kelnick is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Kid Kelnick 1-for-1 on the night. Hit that double his last time up, driving into the 1-0. Swing and a miss, sweeper over the top, 1-1. You would think that Soler is most likely not going to play tomorrow no matter what, because with a night game after a day game and a guy coming out because of an injury, it's been very rare that the Braves put a guy back out there. With the right-hander on the mound, I would think you're going to see Kelnick as the 1-1. Down and away, 2-1. We don't have Eli White, so you would think it's going to be Kelnick, Duvall, or Kelnick, Laureano, and Harris. 2-1, down and away, 3-1. Unless for some reason Duvall has really good numbers against Logan Webb, then they may go that route. The 3-1 pitch. Down and away. They're going to call that a wide strike. Kelnick can't believe it. He was heading down to first. That was a really wide strike. He doesn't say anything to home plate umpire Adam Beck. He just picks his bat up, which is always the smart move when the bat's still going. You don't want to tick him off. The 3-2. Swing. Hit it hard onto the ground over second, but it's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. That's a close one. They may want to take a look at that. That ball was hitting the glove about the time Kelnick was crossing the bag. See, here's another look at it. Oh, that is right there. They're not going to challenge it. First pitch on the way to Riley. Is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. Riley. The 0-1. Misses 1-1. Last time the Braves had 4 home runs against the Giants was 1998. The 1-1. Swing and a miss over the top, 1-2. Braves 11, Giants 2. The 1-2. Swing, rattles it back, foul. If you're just joining us, home runs, grand slam by Harris, but home runs by Harris, Olsen, Riley, and Sean Murphy tonight. 9 hits, 11 runs, no errors, as the 1-2 is inside. 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Giants. And the Braves have scored every other inning. 5 in the first, 1 in the third. The 2-2, fouled straight back. So Riley making Rogers work. That may pay dividends tomorrow. You got a left-hander, who they're trying to get work in right now. But if they need a left-hander late tomorrow, and this guy's pitched almost 30 pitches, he may not be available. Aaron Judge hit another home run tonight, 43rd of the year. The 2-2. Rogers brings it. Swing! That ball's hit high and deep into right field. Going back on the track at the wall. Making the catch is the Yaz. And that'll end the inning. But not for your Atlanta Braves. Have put 2 more on the board. It's 11-2 in San Francisco.
Hey, to all the people out there leaving posters for their lost cats, cats don't get lost. Your cat left you.
Here's to you, Mr. Robinson, Frank Robinson, one of the most underrated players of all time. When he retired in 1976, he ranked 4th on the all-time home run list behind only Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, and Willie Mays. He won the American League Triple Crown in 1966. Since, only 2 other players have accomplished this feat. Despite pitching dominating the 60s, he led the league in OPS Plus 4 times during that time frame. In 1966, his OPS Plus would reach 198, telling you he was twice as productive as the average player during that time. Some players said he was as likely to barrel into second base to break up a double play as he was to hit a home run. On the biggest stage, he thrived, hitting 10 home runs and slugging .532 in just 35 games. He was also named the 1966 World Series MVP. Over his 21-year career, he won Rookie of the Year, 2 MVP awards, 1 Triple Crown, and a Gold Glove to go along with his World Series and All-Star Game MVP awards and his Manager of the Year award in 1989. Simply put, he could do it all.
My period, I have a headache.
You don't have your period.
You know if I got my period or not.
Oh, wow, you definitely have it. That's the attitude that Dad talks about.
Fooled me completely. I saw everything that was good in him. He was wonderful with common people. He knew the first names of the people who rolled out the tarp. He knew little things about little people that an arrogant man shouldn't know and couldn't know in a way. On the other hand, he had at least 3 major flaws. He was an addictive gambler, he was an addictive womanizer, and he was absolutely a compulsive perfectionist about work. And all those things got him in trouble. In that sense, he's a tragic character in that he's a man who has a lot of good parts to him, but 1 or 2 or 3 bad areas of his life just ruined him.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. That chat moves so fast I can't remember who said it, but they were talking about Braves playing the Giants like this reminds them of the old days of the NL West, which is what I grew up on. The first pitch on the way. Strike on the outer edge, it's on 1. I remember staying up late watching the Giants, the Dodger games with my grandparents. You go 1 down and away, 1-1. 1-1 count. Chop foul off the plate, 1-2. In fact, that famous game where the Braves played the Mets to all hours of the morning. Was it 4 a.m., something like 4:30 a.m., whatever it was? The 1-2, swing and a miss. Luke Jackson brings the heat. 1 away. And it was pretty funny. I didn't think about it at the time, but it was pretty funny because I was, pretty young. But my grandmother was always yelling at my grandfather, giving him a hard time because we would be up late watching the end of the Braves game. And he'd be like, man, you get into this game, I can't just go to bed. As the first pitch on the way to Conforto is up high and out of the zone, it's 1-0. She happened to be up with me watching that game that went to, I'm telling you, it was like 4:30 in the morning, whatever it was. The 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. And it was the middle of the summer, so you didn't have to be to bed really early, right? It was like, it was the 4th of July. And so we ended up staying up the entire time. It was the 1-1, chops it foul, 1-2. My grandfather was literally getting up for the next morning. So what the hell are y'all doing? You're still watching the game? And she was trying to defend it. He's like, I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear any more about how, we're up late watching games till 11 o'clock at night. It's 4:30 in the morning, and y'all are up here watching the game, eating ice cream. The 1-2. Down the way, did he go around? He did not. 2-2. Conforto is 2 for 2 on the day. I think that's the only reason why I really remember being up for that game was because of that incident. The 2-2 swung on, chopped foul down the line. Guess I would have been 11 years old, somewhere in that neighborhood, 10, 11 years old. The 2-2. The pitch. Inside, got him, under the arm. He'll head down to first, and here comes Luke Jackson doing Luke Jackson things. 2-2 count, and I mean, that fastball was nowhere near the zone, up and in. Yeah, Charlie, I'm older than you by a few years. I just age like fine wine. Schmidt, and now the batter, he'll drop one into center field. And here we go. Luke Jackson unraveling once again. Runners at first and second, 1 out. And here comes trouble. The Yaz is coming to the plate. And I'm sorry, after what has happened, if I'm Snicker, I go get him now and let it be known. We're not going to let you dangle out there anymore, man. I'm tired of it. First pitch on the way. Diaz is nowhere near the zone. It's 1-0. The other problem with this is they haven't gone out there and talked to him. And you at least need to give him the warning shot from a break and say, hey, man, get it together or you're gone. The 1-0. Inside 1-1. He was set up on the outer edge. That ball painted the inside. So a 1-1 count. Righty, lefty, the pitch. Blasted. Deep into right field. Going back on the track, making the catch at the very back of the wall is Laureano. He'll fire it into the infield, 2 away. Runner at second will move up to third. They now have runners on the corners. But my God. He blasted that thing. He is lucky to get that one back. That'll bring Bailey to the plate, and he's already slammed a double tonight. First pitch. That ball's blasted deep into right field. That ball's going to be caught by Laureano, and that'll end the inning. He just got underneath it. Get him out of there. We'll be back. Ozuna leads us off.
I'm surrounded by a lot of women in this department, and that includes the men.
I'm sorry, did you know that they put the Motorola Razr on display in a museum? Hang on. They put the Motorola Razr on display in a museum. How for? What come? 'Cause I had a Motorola Razr. Matter of fact, I was fickety flexing with my Motorola Razr, top of the line technology when it was in my possession. And now you got it on display in a museum like it's an ancient Egyptian artifact? Calm down, salientologist. And millennials, you know what this means for us, don't you? I'm not going to say it out loud. I would never disrespect us in such a manner, but you know what this means, don't you?
In August of 1989, after a long investigation, the Commissioner of Baseball, Bart Giamatti, held a press conference.
The banishment for life of Pete Rose from baseball is the sad end of a sorry episode. One of the game's greatest players has engaged in a variety of acts which have stained the game, and he must now live with the consequences of those acts. It will come as no surprise that, like any institution composed of human beings, this institution will not always fulfill its highest aspirations. I know of no earthly institution that does. But this one, because it is so much a part of our history as a people, and because it has such a purchase on our national soul, has an obligation to the people for whom it's played, fans and the well-wishers and the millions, to strive for excellence in all things and to promote the highest ideals.
Less than 2 weeks after barring Rose from baseball, Giamatti died of a heart attack.
Your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. back. First pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna is up top. That ball missed the zone, but they called the Ephus pitch. No, never mind. He did call it a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 in the dirt, 2-0. Yastrzemski, the Yaz, is pitching here in the ninth. The right fielder being called on to not waste any more of the bullpen in an 11-2 game. The 2-0. Down and in, 3-0. I would buy, and for the record, I don't want to see Luke Williams in this game tonight. I want to see a win. Let's quit screwing around. The 3-0. Outside wide. 3-0 count to Ozuna. The pitch. Ball 4. So Ozuna will head on down to first. No, it's a little melodramatic up 11-2. Here comes Olsen. Olsen's making some joke with the catcher Bailey. Because Yastrzemski's throwing that Ephus pitch and he's left-handed. That thing is coming down like a floating balloon. First pitch to Olsen. Swing! Pops it up high into center field. That ball's going to drop down. Well, how about that? He got underneath that pitch. I didn't think it was going to drop. I thought that ball was going to get caught. It's almost like trying to hit a knuckleball. The old rule when you hit a knuckleball, or the true old school knuckleball, is if it's high, let it fly. If it's low, let it go. That's essentially what he's throwing. It just doesn't have the knuckle move. It's an Ephus. It's like 40 miles an hour. The 1-0. Down and away, 2-0. That must be his fastball. That was 49. So a 2-0 count. And you may think that they'll just sit there and hammer it, but it's hard to get used to a guy throwing like that when you've seen, pitches twice that speed. The 3-0. Brings it. Ball 4. So good job by... Actually, I'm proud of Marcia for taking that pitch. About a month or so ago, Orlando Arcia would have popped that up. Now Lenny Mike has a chance to hit a second grand slam. First pitch, 49 miles an hour. That ball actually hit the zone, but it went into the dirt, and it's moving so slow, it got called for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing, hit hard on the ground over to second. It's going to be a 4-3 put out. That'll score a run, and it'll be another RBI for Money Mike. Man, I was hoping he'd find a way to hit that one into the drink, too. The thing about those slow-moving pitches, too, is it's hard to get a lot of length on them because you have nothing coming your way, so the batter has to use all their strength to get that ball to go. First pitch to Laureano's outside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Up top, misses. 1-1. It was a 4-3 put out and an RBI for Harris. Runners on second and third. The 2-0. 3-0. Pitch is routinely coming in between 45 and 49 miles an hour. The 3-0 from Yaz. Right there for a strike, 3-1. He kind of gets a Bronx cheer there as he gets the first called strike. 10-run lead, the 3-1 pitch. Swing! That ball's hammered into left field. Did he hold it? Looked like he trapped the ball. Olsen's going to come home to score. See how they rule that. It's 13-2. The diving play, it looked like he trapped it. And that is what they're going to go with. He did trap the ball. So it's an RBI single. So Ramon Laureano, that click-clacked. Second hit of the game and another RBI, and the Braves lead at 13-2. The 1-0 to Murphy in the dirt, 2-0. The 2-0. Yeah, you honestly don't want your batters to even see this guy throw the ball. 2-0, misses outside, 3-0. because you could really throw them off tomorrow, which is probably why the Giants are doing it. And Yaz is a 3-0, hit hard down the first base side. It's going to be a 1-6 put out, or 3-6 put out. Murphy will be safe at first. You got runners on the corners, 2 outs. Yaz was probably getting the day off anyways because the pitcher for the Braves from ours, Max Fried, and the left-hander. The Giants usually play a pretty solid platoon. First pitch on the way to Merrifield is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Merrifield has a chance for a third hit. The 1-0. Outside 2-0. That's the biggest understatement of the night, Spidey. Should have took the over. The over-under was 8.5. We're now at 15. The 2-0 up top, ball 3-0. So a 3-0 count brings it. Ball 4. So merry-go-round will go out there, and that'll give Kid Kelnick another chance. Swing the bat. You would think tomorrow, the day game, you're going to have Darno behind the plate. First pitch on the way, it hit the zone, but once again, it's such a slow-moving ball. He did not get the call. It's 1-0. It was at the very bottom of the zone. The 1-0. Inside 2-0. I mean, if you're counting, you just want an RBI, you should spin into that 40-mile-an-hour balloon and get an RBI. The 2-0. Swing! That ball's hammered down the right field line, but just foul. Most of these guys don't want just the RBI. They want a chance to hammer one, get several RBIs, but the 2-1 pitch. Hammered into right on the right-hand side. Good play by Wisely. Deep in the hole. He'll flip it over to first, and that'll end the inning. Braves put a couple on the board. It's 13-2. We head to the bottom of the ninth, Braves country. Let's slam this door shut.
All right, team. We're going to be reviewing the new client slide deck this afternoon. And get a haircut.
At least someone noticed. Yeah, thanks.
Ryan, is that why I haven't been able to get a hold of you for like the last 3 hours?
Ryan, did you get a haircut since our meeting this morning?
Well, yeah, it was a little slow, and I got one after our morning meeting, so...
Okay, you can't just get a haircut on company time.
Okay, well, my hair grows on company time, so I don't know what, like...
Are you joking, Brian?
Are you guys joking?
Y'all, I just completed a chore that I've been putting off for 6 months and it only took me 15 minutes to do it.
Libertarianism is all about individual liberty, and it should never be defined by the terms liberal or conservative.
And communism is no good.
That's right. Big swing and a miss.
Yeah. And what's the word for when a few clerics are in charge? Religious oligarchy.
Holy a man after my own heart.
The matter of Mr. Rose is now closed. Let no one think that it did not hurt baseball. That hurt will pass, however, as the great glory of the game asserts itself and a resilient institution goes forward.
If we think about the 80s, we will always remember 1989, which was a terrible year because it was the Pete Rose business hung over the sport all through the summer and came to a sad conclusion. Immediately afterwards, Bart Giamatti died, who would in a very short space of time had really become a significant figure in baseball and was admired and loved by everybody in the game to an extraordinary degree. And then we all went out to the World Series in San Francisco when the earthquake hit, which seemed to sum up the whole thing. It was the worst baseball year that I can remember.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. 13-2 your score. I picked a click black. I had the over as the right, but I didn't realize it was going to be this high. I had 12 runs being scored tonight. I didn't see 15. First pitch on the way from Jimmy Herget out of the bullpen. Fires a fastball inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Jimmy Herget, 4.82 ERA. Kind of a whipping action from the right side, the 1-0. Swung, pops it up. High in the sky. Making the catch is Arcia, one away. On the follow-through, I believe he got a piece of, Wisely got a piece of Sean Murphy, but Sean Murphy shrugged it off, so no harm, no foul. I think he might have clipped him coming through on the shoulder pad. First pitch on the way to McRae. MLB debut for the youngster. Takes the first pitch up, top first strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. 91-mile-an-hour four-seamer. 1-1. 1-1 count. Brings it. Pops it up. High into left field. Camping underneath it is Kid Kelnick for a loud out number 2. Giants down to their last out. Fitzgerald, who has a home run on the night, stands in 2 for 4. It'll be Max Fried versus Logan Webb, 3:45 first pitch right here on Braves Country Radio. First pitch on the way, swung on, grounded over to Riley. He'll flip it to first, and that'll end the inning. That'll end the game. Braves win. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win. Whiskey for my men, beer for my horses. Game ball's going to go to Money Mike. Hitting that grand slam that really jumped all over the Giants early in this one. I didn't see it out there. I wanted to see if they were going to do the gritty with him and Kelnick out there together, but I don't see it. They may not have done it. Maybe he's been told not to do it coming off the IL. Nonetheless, Atlanta Braves win their 3rd in a row. How about that? 3 in a row after that disastrous ending to the game, the series-ending game out in Colorado. And your Atlanta Braves, we have a chance for a rarity, a 4-game sweep on the road. We'll go after that tomorrow afternoon. 3:45 first pitch, Max Fried Day. And Atlanta, man, that offense woke up tonight, didn't it? I think this was appropriate. We'll see
All
you,
right,
Braves
you guys, let's listen up. We won a game yesterday. And if we win one today, that's 2 in a row. We win one tomorrow, that's called a winning streak. It has happened before. So let's see some hustle. Let's jack it up a little. I got a feeling things are about to turn around for us.
Have a great night, Braves country. Braves win it 13-2, 13 runs, 11 hits, no errors, 2 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Grant Holmes with his first win, his first career win. Max Fried tomorrow.